shoes, we gon' fly away.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pressure Points podcast. I'm your host, Connor Ford. Sitting in front of me are my good friends, Jacob Seaman, Ryan Kennedy. Boys, how we feeling today?
Dope.
Yeah. Dope.
It's great.
There we go.
That's good to know.
Starting
yeah.
a good rapport.
Yeah. You know, you
Really.
just gotta, lube up the gears a little bit before we
Yeah.
get going.
Like that. Did you see the video I sent you with the guy from Euphoria at the fucking
Yeah,
Oscars?
just geeked out of his mind.
Yeah, completely
yeah,
off
that shit was
the
so
irks,
funny.
bro.
People were like, he should play Nate Diaz, and if they ever did.
Yeah, I
Like,
saw
no,
that.
he should get help.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that kind of goes to Nate Diaz, too.
Nate's cool. Nick probably.
I mean, they just have brain damage.
Yeah, I mean, but they've always been fucking like.
They've
I mean,
always
not
talked like
always
that.
like that, but like kind of that sort of person.
Yeah.
So, but good for that fucking Stockton.
Or you could pull a Curtis Blaze and just say you have a speech impediment.
Did he what?
Yeah, that's what he said. He has
When?
been
Who
suffering
said
from
that?
Curtis Blaze did, because some people were like, yo, you got CTE, you got brain damage. Then he commented something. He was like, yo, everyone's saying I got brain damage. I've had a speech impediment since I was a kid. And I've been working on it my entire life.
Well, I guess if you have one and you're a fighter, people are gonna naturally assume that you're just punch drunk.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he has brain damage, though.
Yeah, he's been fucked up a couple
I
times.
swear he's been knocked out by Ngannou like 5 times.
Twice. You idiot.
It's a joke.
They don't.
Vic Killer.
They don't fight. That's. Hey,
I
that
figured
ain't
the
me.
comedian wouldn't understand my jokes.
Yeah,
But
well,
anyways.
it wasn't funny.
Speaking of people who can't take jokes, I figured everyone's been clamoring for our takes on the Will Smith Chris Rock
Yeah,
thing.
because it hasn't been grossly overdone by now.
Yeah,
With it, every joke possible hasn't been made already.
I agree. You think it was a work?
I thought it was a work, but apparently
Me and Ryan think it was a shoot because it was so obviously a shoot.
I
but-
thought it was a work.
Yeah, I mean, just the incredible awkwardness.
Just
Yeah,
doesn't make
yeah.
any
You
sense.
can't you can't work that.
I feel like you can because he's like a world-renowned actor.
See,
And
that would
Chris
be
Rock
the
is-
argument, though, is
Yeah.
that we are getting this is done
You're just
by
getting
the
worked.
world's best actors. But again, I mean, there's just so much like leading up to it being because him just walking up and then also cursing like right after.
Yeah, the way he was cursing,
yeah,
like
being
the camera's
keep
on
my
him.
wife's
and-
name out your fucking mouth and saying it twice like. Also,
don't know.
the
I
bad
don't buy it.
publicity he's gonna get, I just don't see what kind of paycheck, what kind of under the table deal he would have gotten to really justify him doing that, or I don't know.
Yeah, and also if it's a work, how many people were in on it? Because
I don't know.
He should have also been taken away the second that shit happened. They should have
Yeah,
been like, "Hey, you're
exactly.
kicked out."
Yeah. So
So you're telling me everyone's in on this shit?
somebody is for him to not be like escorted out of the building because he went and assaulted the host.
Yeah.
If you believe that
What
was
we were
real.
talking about earlier.
Feel
If
like it
they
would've
come out with a
been-
movie and it's like Chris Rock,
Sure.
Will Smith. Okay, then yeah.
If
was
anything,
grudge match.
Yeah, if
Chris Rock,
yeah,
Will
they're,
Smith.
they're gonna be on the next Triller card.
Yeah, dude, that'd be awesome.
It would
if
be
that
sick.
happens, then yeah, okay, that's totally worth.
I don't think they're gonna fight on Triller, but that'd be.
Yeah.
Oh man, it'd be such a weird
Be dope.
they're on the undercard of Jake Paul versus fucking Damian Maya or some bullshit like that.
They got Chris Hemsworth versus Jason Momoa.
That would probably. Oh man, I bet it'd be a real barn burner of a fight.
Yeah. Well, anyways, we can get into some stuff right here. That the Rod Tank DJ match that happened.
Went exactly as planned.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing, right?
Yeah, it was the two true outcome fight. Knockout round 1 or submission round 2.
Yeah, DJ took care of business.
Yeah.
Keeping it real. Wish he was still in the UFC.
This is the most important win of Demetrius Johnson's career. This cements his legacy as the best fighter of all time.
Dude, one is so funny. Like it's like a fever dream of a promotion.
Yeah. But,
Like
I
with the
mean-
weight cuts, the 800 billion subscribers.
Yeah.
It's like everything's
Every fighter
fake.
on steroids.
The constant financial losses every year
Yeah.
was just hemorrhaging money. And they're like, we're the next UFC.
Oh yeah, and the manager being like, "Yeah, we have heavyweight fighters that could totally decimate Francis Ngannou."
Well, that's
It's like,
Chatry for you.
Yeah, all
He-
right, buddy.
He's always on some shit like that. Him and Scott Coker, bro.
Yeah, Scott Coker was about that too.
The non-UFC Promoters Alliance.
I don't know how anyone takes Scott Coker seriously. Like just looking at him,
He
when
looks
it's
so
just like,
funny.
come on.
He
He needs a like a manager guy like, to talk for him.
Yeah, he looks like a white chocolate milk dud.
For real, that was
He's
pretty
ju-
good.
He's just so smooth and doughy.
Yeah, it's just like get out of here, bro.
Yeah.
Doughy.
Like I don't buy
Doughy.
anything that
He
comes
is-
out of his mouth ever.
Yeah, no. Okay, fucking explain Kimbo versus Dada 5000. You can't. So go fuck your mother.
So you guys want to get into this card
Yes,
last
this
week?
beautiful, awesome, the best fight night card.
Yeah,
And, like,
we're gonna run through this pretty quickly.
did you guys watch the fights?
No.
I watched them because I'm a real fan and I did my
Yeah.
due diligence.
I just think you're a loser.
No, I watched
Yeah.
I watched the good ones. I didn't watch. Let's see, Manon Fiorot versus Jennifer Maia because it was a women's flyweight decision. So he had that fight.
Oh,
He picked correct. He picked Fiorot by decision, which is duh. I'm surprised that I didn't. Lapse in judgment for me, but
just couldn't see that one coming.
yeah. And we had also picked Oleinik versus Latifi. That didn't happen.
That didn't
so,
happen. Why? Was there ever a reason given?
Latifi got sick.
Okay.
I don't know if it was COVID or what, but
Well, I remember
He got
because I
sick.
feel like they said it was non-COVID specifically, so that's why I was like,
yeah, I don't know. Maybe he got the flu or some bullshit. Same thing.
yeah.
Just kidding. I'm kidding. Shout out Conspiracy Class Podcast.
Shout out.
Okay, so we'll go top to bottom. We had Blades by TKO, all three of us.
Yes, of course.
We also didn't pick it to be like entertaining at all. Like we were just like, fucking, we're all gonna pick the same shit. Fuck it, who cares? Yeah, Blades by TKO, but I don't think that's what we were expecting him to TKO. Like how we expected him to TKO.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, we all had him by TKO.
Yeah,
and he
but,
fucking
like,
won by TKO.
Pretty sure it would be like ground and pound. He did you see the highlight? Or
Yeah,
anything?
like I saw the finish.
Yeah, he did. I thought he looked actually pretty good.
It's Curtis Blades.
I wouldn't sleep. I wouldn't
I
sleep so
I am
hard on him.
I am firmly
I think if he
asleep for Curtis Blades.
I think if he fights Derek Lewis again, he probably will win.
You're just saying all this because Jack Slack had a tweet that he was like, I like Curtis Blades.
No,
He looked
I
good."
fucking watched the fights, and he's like, it's
He's good
because
and-
he's
and
the
I can
only
see
good
him beating
heavyweight
Lewis.
wrestler. So I would kind of like, oh
Is
well,
he?
he's
Yeah, is he? Also, him
Yes.
saying that it just because you
Besides,
saw
like,
Francis
Stipe, I
wrestle fuck Cyril, it's like you're also discounting the absolute sheer size and strength of Francis. Like there's a reason he was able to just kind of have his way with Cyril.
I mean,
I'm not
I don't
saying-
know. I don't know if he'd beat Gon, but I think he's like good.
I think he's
Yeah,
got a good
yeah,
chance
I
to beat
think he's got a
Gon
good
because
chance,
Gon's
but- Yeah, I
takedown
think-
defense kind of looked like nothing.
Yeah,
Well,
but
his
it
takedown
also
defense looked like nothing because he was picked up in the air.
I know, but you still have to get to that position, and
Yeah.
And it could
and
be,
Ganu's not a D1.
Well, also his entire game plan for Curtis will be takedown defense.
Yeah.
I think somehow that'll probably be Gon's most boring fight if they ever do fight.
no,
Yeah, no.
no way. Did you see the Rosenstruik fight? Did you watch that?
Yeah, I remember that.
It was so, but that's also like
I like
Rosen-
Aspinall. I like Aspinall.
Aspinall. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
Aspinall's cool.
it's like heavyweight's a little bit better now because there's at least a little like some
Yeah.
stuff going like Tuivasa and Aspinall and now Blades.
But
is,
even
like-
then, it's like you can't. I still you can't be serious with Tuivasa. Like,
no, I don't think he's like
He's
legit.
not.
And like the next 2 years, we could get John Jones.
yeah,
So, you
maybe.
No,
But Curtis Blades
Yeah.
beat Chris fucking Dawkins.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
It's like you should look good.
he looked better on the feet than I thought he would. He was using his jab.
We didn't look bad on the feet against Lewis.
No,
No, he
that's the
looked
whole
good.
thing. He was doing great until he shot in and got.
Uppercutted and
Yeah,
just
he
head
just,
flown
just
off.
died.
It's just like the one like
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
like
fuck
it's
it
gonna
out.
it's heavyweight. It happens where you just get fucking like you're winning a fight and then you just get knocked unconscious
Yeah.
like one shot. It just happens. But
Why do you think it is that heavyweight is like bad now? Because sneak peek into later in this episode, we're recapping Pride Final Conflict 05. You compare those fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even close.
no,
Like,
well,
what is?
those were also like two insanely good heavyweights.
Sure, I agree.
and they're also pretty small comparatively.
They are, but
They're-
throw any of those guys in, and other
Right,
than like
yeah.
Francis, they're whooping everyone's ass.
Yeah, I think against like the top
Dude,
5. would
throw
give 'em tough.
45-year-old Fedor into UFC right now. He's like a top 5 heavyweight.
No, he got
Yeah,
knocked the fuck
no.
out by Ryan Bader. It's not happening.
Okay, if you put Ryan Bader in the heavyweight division, he's top 5 too.
I don't know. I mean, we haven't.
Who's the top 5 at heavyweight right now?
I want the easiest
Francis,
fight.
Francis, Stipe, Gone.
Lewis, Blades,
Yeah,
Aspinall,
You-
and
I mean, you're
Tuivasa
telling me,
now are like the top fighters.
I mean, you're telling me Bader's not beating fucking Lewis or Blade?
No, he's
like,
getting knocked out.
I feel like he'd probably get knocked out by both of them. It's
I think
Ryan
you'd be
Bader,
surprised.
bro.
It's
I
Ryan
think
Bader. He's the easiest fight in the division. I should know.
He is.
Easiest fight.
He is.
What is this most savage fucking line ever?
Yeah.
I
UFC,
called up
I
Sean
want-
Shelby.
yeah.
I said I want the easiest fight in the division. I want Ryan Bader.
It's like, damn, fuck you, dude. Get shit on.
All over.
But yeah, no, I think heavyweight's just like, I think it's always been bad, but like
What? It's not though.
more entertaining now. Well, I think it's worse now because the fighters that are really good now are way better than like the average heavyweight. Cause like before, like the heavyweights weren't like, besides like Fedor and Crow Cop, like Andrei Arlovsky was this.
I mean, he was a savage back in the day. Long hair Arlovsky.
But
son?
like, if you look at how they fight, that he's good because he fucking would like knock people out. But there are heavyweights now that are actually
who are we talking about?
Arlovsky.
Okay.
But like, he was never like really super good. He was the champion, but he wasn't ever like a fucking. You weren't like, oh, Andrei Arlovsky, he's in the conversation for best heavyweight of all time. Like, it was him. But like,
Well, that's why I hate when
do you
people.
know what I'm getting at?
I understand your
like
point.
there are heavyweights that are actually technically like real good, like Stipe and
Yeah,
fucking
Stipe.
Gon are like doing stuff.
Okay,
that
other than those
heavyweights-
two.
and
And
like
Aspinall.
yeah, which is there's such a large gap between heavyweights that are
Yes.
good and heavyweights that are average.
Sure.
That like it makes it seem way worse because like the drop off from like the top 7 heavyweights in the world to the other guys is fucking. It's like you're crushing a can.
Yeah, I mean,
know?
it's like drop off from the top like 5 and up is just like insane. And even
Yeah.
then, like, it's like top 5. Lewis and Tuivasa, like Tuivasa's ass.
Yeah,
Tuivasa's not.
he's been getting better.
Sure,
I
sure.
think-
I agree. He's gotten better, but
I think he's been. He looked good, and he's also really young, which is
yeah. And then it's like
which is-
Volkov just got
yeah.
straight armbarred. Are you
Well,
kidding me?
you get
Yeah,
like
come on, bro.
there's like the top 7 in the UFC or so, like the top half of the UFC division, and then the bottom of the top 15 below them is like one tier, but they're also like not that great.
yeah.
And then like
Well, another
Christakis
problem is
number
it's-
10.
That's
Volkov's
that's what I'm
number 9.
saying. It's
And
like
then- yeah.
think of like name me some heavyweights outside the UFC, and it's like fuck, it's even worse.
Arjun Buller, because he would box the fuck out of Francis.
Who's that?
He's the one heavyweight champion.
Oh,
he's the one that Chachi was talking about.
Yeah, like I said, I don't even know who that is.
He's not very good. But yeah, it's like the drop off. Like after the
Your
top,
your point is very good.
Yeah.
Very good point.
the top. If you're like a perennially unranked heavyweight, ass, because there's like gatekeepers in the lower divisions that are like somebody like Cowboy or something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that like are just sitting, or like Matt Brown. You know, so like people like them that are just sitting outside of the rankings,
Yeah.
but they're still like a tough test for people. There's not.
Well, it's just like heavy. It's literally just like fat guys who hit hard.
That's it.
Well, like I imagine probably getting there. Like, there's a high percentage of the people that are there at heavyweight are there because they've just had a lot of knockouts.
Yeah.
Also, like
Well,
there's the
not a-
idea that it's almost that it's evolved to just this point where you just have to be big and have power.
Yeah.
But I don't know
Well, I think
if
that's
that's
just
Well,
more
that's
like
what
testament
heavyweight's been
yeah.
for the most part, for a long time.
I mean, there's Frank Mir, Verdum, they were fucking legit. I mean, DC back in the day. Josh Barnett. I mean, there was fucking. I don't know. We can move. We've been talking about this for a minute now, but
Well, we got to fill time.
It was
It's
a good
crazy
conversation.
Filling time
Well,
with
we got a
heavyweight
great
MMA.
fight
Who would have
we're gonna
thought?
talk about next.
Yeah, Joanne Wood versus Alexa Grasso. Grasso got a finish for the first time in since 2008 or something.
Of course.
Of
So,
course,
like,
yeah, I had a
fucking of
decision.
course.
Good for her. We got 1 point for that.
Yeah.
And
Moving
then
on.
Askarov versus Cara France.
Hype
Wait, I
train
thought that
derailed.
was,
Yeah, I if you watch the fight, it's kind of like it's a close decision. I could see it going either way, I guess.
Mhm.
I did
I
definitely have it Kai though.
I figured it was probably gonna be Askarov. I think Kai did more, but Askarov had a lot more. He was just kind of grinding in the clinch, and you know how that is.
Yeah.
I think Cara
Kai-
France definitely looked better coming out of it.
Yeah, Kai's definitely got some hype now, which is kind of funny because he beat Cody and then this guy. It's
Yeah.
number one contender.
But fine,
Sure.
I'm cool if
cool
he
with
gets the title shot before Moreno again. I don't really care.
I don't mind that either.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind seeing either of those fights actually. So whichever one gets made is fine. Because
I think we skipped Matt Brown though.
oh yeah, I just had it in a different order on here than
Brown Barberena. You
that
said
fight was fucking insane.
Yeah, that
it
was
was such
really
a
good.
it was such a good fight. You gotta watch it.
I did think Matt Brown won. That was a weird one, because I'm kind of the opposite with you, considering you had Askar win the other one. But I had Matt Brown, but Ryan got the decision.
I think it was. I was just when I watched it, I was fucking just super stoked. I fucking love Matt Brown.
Oh, and
he's
then
so
Brian
nice.
going
with it.
out and teaching everyone in the world how not to negotiate. He was on his
hold on.
last
Who?
fight.
Who?
Brian Barberena. He basically went on his press fight conference and was like, "Look, I try to negotiate with. I'm trying to get that second contract, But honestly, if this is my last fight in the UFC, I'm not going to go fight anywhere else.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
done.
Good
It's like
way
what a
to-
great
Nice
way
leverage.
To not
Even if that's
get them.
true.
They'll probably resign. I mean, he's
Yeah.
a fun fight guaranteed. Because
Sure.
you gotta watch the fight with Luque too. Definitely, Brian Barberena versus Vicente Luque. I'll plug that till the day I fucking die. It's a
Plug it, brother.
absolute banger of a fight, and it makes Luque look kind of bad because it's pretty back and forth. But I love Luque too. So
Luque
Yeah,
comes
big
to
Luque
bang,
fan,
son.
fucking love
He
Vicente
comes to
Luque.
bang.
He's got that that primal thing where you
When's
you see
he
him.
fighting?
He fights Bilal Muhammad the week after
shit.
the next pay per view.
Yeah, I hope he
knocks
fucks
out
up
Bilal.
Bilal.
I can't remember what happened in their first fight.
Bilal made me the biggest non-fan of him ever in that Wonder Boy
The
fight.
Wonder Boy fight.
The
Holy
only thing I care
shit,
about
dude.
Bilal was when Connor was like, "Get this off my telly now."
Yeah, that Wonder Boy fight just made me.
Yeah, fuck.
It'll make me never be a fan of someone.
he's good. He's a very good fighter, but I don't want to watch him do
Lay
his
and
thing.
pray.
Yeah, he does a lot of the lay and pray
where
shit.
you somehow end up on top for 95% of the fight, yet do almost no damage.
Yeah,
that's
like
always
if the other fighter got a knockdown and you have control time of 10 minutes of the fight, and the other fighter gets one knockdown, and you're like, oh, it could go either way. You're not doing enough.
yeah,
You're not
Yeah, fuck Bilal.
fucking. And you talk about ground and pound when you get to the pride thing.
Oh my god,
that's
I
how
have
you
so
fucking-
I have so much good stuff to say about that shit.
Oh, man.
Let's get the shit out. I mean,
We got the prelims. You
Let's
canned
see.
both of your fucking prelim picks.
Borshev, Diakis or
Jacasey.
Jacasey. I always fuck that name up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
my
fucked that
my
up,
guy
too.
didn't hit. He had a second round sub though, so good for him.
Who?
My guy had a round.
Oh, yeah.
Kizriev.
Kizriev. Yeah.
Yeah. He's so good for
Yeah,
him.
and fucking good for
Wish he
him.
would have got
I'd-
the first round TKO
Magny
though.
by decision. It's fucking a lock every time. But
Wasn't he saying some shit? I feel like Magny.
He was calling out Shemaev.
Oh,
He was like,
Well,
"Yeah,
he-
I'm still ready." Like, okay, he's already jumped ahead of you. He's
Yeah,
not gonna
you-
go fight you.
It's like you're
It's
you're
unfortunate.
You're literally never getting that fight.
it's unfortunate because he was like,
Gonna fight him.
like everybody's like, oh, everybody's ducking Kamzat, and Neil Magny was like, please let me let me fight him.
Yeah. I respect.
And
I
then
mean,
they
respect for that.
Yeah, no, I mean that's cool. Like anybody who respect to Burns for fucking probably not a smart decision because Wonder Boy had said something about. He was like, "There's no way I'm fighting Kamzat because if I lose, it's such a huge."
Wonder Boy's in a tough position right now.
Yeah, I
and
don't even know what's.
He's I kind of don't like the things that he says too.
Well, it seems like he's just kind of where he's in the chill part of his career now.
Yeah.
He's because he's not gonna get another title shot.
Yeah, and he still
point.
hasn't figured out to let his hands go.
Yeah,
You've been in this game for this long and you still haven't I
Yeah,
don't know. Sometimes
it's
fighters
whatever.
and their game plans really fuck with me. when it's like everyone knows they should be doing a certain thing, yet they don't do it.
Yeah. They're not always the smartest set of people, But you had Borshev by KO as well, Ryan. L. I would have never done something so stupid. I would have never banked on a hype train. And then you had Fioro by decision. I'm surprised we didn't all three have that.
Yeah, that was
lock of the fucking
lock of the
week.
century.
Yeah, for real.
Talking
Yeah,
about Manon.
yeah. Fioro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a fucking.
Such an easy pick, like low prelim female fighters.
Apparently, it was like real
real.
bad too.
I'm sure it was.
She was just like spamming the same thing over and over again, but Maya's like not good, so she couldn't do anything about it. You know how it is.
keeping it real.
It's women's flyweight, brother. That's fucking Valentina's gonna fight Talia Santos.
Yeah. Santos also just looks so roided out of her mind.
Yeah. Yeah, people are like, yeah, Santos is a good prospect, but it's Valentina, bro.
Well, as long as she doesn't march right into Valentina, it should be a competitive fight.
Yeah. No, it'll just be boring.
Oh yeah, sorry, boring.
It won't be competitive.
It'll be close but boring, but Valentina will win
clearly.
easily.
Like she'll clearly win, but it just won't
Valentina's
be fun.
last few fights, she has been like getting finishes. So, I mean,
With Andrade and
those were her last few though. Andrade and Murphy and
she's been getting Did you watch the Lauren Murphy fight?
yes, we saw
It
it
was
live.
I wasn't there. I think I had COVID when that happened. But fucking it was
Murphy's
awful.
ass, but she fucked her.
She knocked her out in like the 4th round with like just the flurry that
Yeah,
was
the flurry
finally
of
like the
4
nail in the
punches.
coffin. And then she fought Jennifer Maia before that. And that was boring as shit.
Mm.
And then before that, it was probably another boring fight. Because that's what she do.
She do.
That's
Well, I mean,
what I
I'm a
do.
Valentina stan,
If them
so-
stands come out and hear this, whew.
She's
Hey,
hot.
I'm one
I get
of you guys.
she is.
I'm a Valentina stan too.
She
so,
is. Yeah, she's hot. You don't have to. You don't have to be like, yeah, she's the fucking best fighter
Most
on earth.
complete fighter there's ever been, actually.
She's I mean, she's good looking for a fighter. Come at me. Come
All
get us
right.
on.
Yeah,
get at
you
us on
can't
Twitter.
Say anything thinking fucking young J-Check is fucking.
Oh, whatever.
bad.
Yona's hot. You're capping with her new tits. You're crazy. You're crazy,
Well, it's
dude.
like she's got
Yona's
that
hot.
permanent Megamind effect with me now.
When
and it's
she's
like-
not
You're
when she's not in her fight get up and like she's doing press, she looks good. You're tweaking.
Bro, I swear her head every time I see her grows 2 times its size. It's crazy.
Oh, I
Yeah,
just
she-
can't unsee the.
I do imagine Roger from American Dad every single time I see her.
Yeah, it's
But-
kind of impossible to look past. But no, she's a fine looking fella.
Anyways, you guys want to get into this pride shit?
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about Pride Final Conflict 2005. It's like one of the best events ever. I looked up like best events ever, and then this was there. I mean, I knew about it before, of course, because Jack Slack Patreon has a he did a thing on it. So I'm gonna be taking his opinions and converting them over here.
Okay. Good
So
stuff.
So I'm basically bootlegging the Jack Slack Patreon episode on the middleweight Grand Prix. That's what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
So if you guys don't want to pay $5, you
Yeah.
can just listen to this.
So starting out, I just took a few notes down with just like my initial thoughts of it. Morrow and Boss, fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I fucking love Morrow. Dude.
Morrow in that atmosphere is like such a good commentator because like in
Yeah.
pro wrestling he got a little like weird because
Twitter troglodytes.
he loves using buzzwords and stuff, but he
Uh-huh.
kept it pretty real back in Pride. And him and Boss are just tremendous. Like they're so great together, so
Yeah.
much fun. The presentation / entertainment value
so much better.
miles better than anything the UFC is doing today. It is actually insane. The Titantron, the
Dude.
lights, the stage.
It's so much better.
It makes the show feel amazing, like a grand, like fantastic thing to watch. Like
Yeah.
the stage is terrific,
and they don't even have the entrances on Fight Pass. Which
No,
fucking
that's
is
another
annoying.
thing. I wanted to see Crow Cop come out to fucking Wild
Wild
Boys.
Boy. Yeah, that shit is tight.
It's so tight, but it's like, and then you go watch a UFC pay-per-view, and they're like coming out of the tunnel like a fucking amateur show.
Well, the
It's
only thing that carries it is Bruce Buffer. That's the only real.
that was one of my points too. I was like, dude, without Buffer, it's like holy
And the
shit.
Japanese announcer gets into it. So he's dope.
Bruce Buffer's
I-
definitely the best. The
Yes,
GOAT, whatever.
He literally if
Yeah,
if it wasn't
he's-
for Buffer, the UFC's presentation and whole entertainment value would be
It's
awful.
chalked. Yeah, it's
Like,
completely
how do you
non-fair.
not have like a stage and like a Titantron for these? Like,
well,
I
they
don't
want to
get
be
it.
like the kind of sporty, like more sport than entertainment, even though like
That-
it's just a natural part of.
I
how
yeah
this works.
yeah that is the
'Cause
thing.
it's a
Like
solo-
the UFC's tried to like get away from like that sort of entertainment, like pro wrestling type thing. But like, it's there's a happy medium there.
Well, everybody knows the fucking best moments possible for like entrances and stuff is when everything's theatric.
Yeah.
Like nobody's like when they got fucking that Irish lady to come out and sing
Yeah.
the Foggy Dew.
Yeah, sick.
Super
Sick.
fucking sick. Best entrance
yeah,
of all time.
But
for
like
sure.
just the stage and the lights, it looked like so fucking cool.
Yeah, like get some fucking pyro out there.
Like,
Like explode cannons.
It makes me mad that they just don't have a stage. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
well, they
Like
don't have
the way
any-
they come out of the tunnel is so like indie pro wrestling.
Even
type shit.
Bellator does that. Even
Yeah.
Bellator has a stage.
Yeah, it's just like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get why. I mean, and you have to take away from like capacity in the arena to have a stage, so maybe that.
I get
but
that,
they're
but-
not. I mean, what are you? How many seats are you really losing? There?
Exactly. But
I
yeah,
don't- yeah.
anyways, also a final quick note, Ring is absolutely awful for MMA.
Yeah, awful.
Ring is terrible.
It's
So bad.
Such a hazard.
So bad.
Yeah.
It does make things kind of interesting though, the way they work with it, but
Well, it's nice to have a corner, but you could also just have a square cage.
yeah,
You know,
exactly.
Like corners kind of add like a little interesting. They make it a lot tougher for everybody,
Yeah.
pretty
But
much.
the octagon and the fence is easily number one. Like,
Yeah, it's definitely.
I don't think there should be any. Like, we watch the old UFC sometimes, and it's funny how they have literally the same
pretty much
octagon
it, yeah.
setup. And I think that's for a good reason because it works.
Yeah,
Like,
it
It
does.
is funny seeing the setup though, because like you'll see him bounce off the cage, and it's like not really well put together.
I,
Like the foam looks.
oh yeah,
really
like the old
horribly
one.
put
Yeah,
on.
it's a little
it's
janky,
rickety.
but
Yeah, but I would be in for a square cage event just to see.
sure, I think it would be fun.
I think it'd be cool.
Yeah,
Because then you have corners, and I think it would be.
make it a little
would-
bigger.
It would expose a lot of motherfuckers.
I
'Cause
guess
you,
we'd
you
see.
can't really get cornered in the octagon,
No, there's no
So-
real corner.
but like the corner just adds a complete different element to the striking,
It does.
which I think that'd be interesting. but I mean I don't know how the view would look with a square
Yeah.
cage.
Oh, also ref cam, tremendous.
Yeah,
Like what a
awesome.
fucking cool idea. And by the way,
That
this
is
is
a
all
really
in like
cool
2005. Like it was so like good.
Yeah, Pride was fucking dope.
So
man.
good.
So
The
much.
the
like,
ref cam is tremendous.
the entire presentation,
Which just
besides
adds a-
like just the general like mid 2000s grunge, like
yeah.
that all that shit. The rest of it, like the fundamentals of it, are fucking way better.
So
you
much
just
better.
see in like every sport, anytime you get more personal with the camera footage, like baseball and getting the umpire footage, it's like just being able to see how
yeah,
fast the
it's
baseball's
cool
coming.
looking.
It's like that kind of stuff adds a cool, interesting element to being able to view stuff, and it's like being that up close and personal with fighters. That's such a cool concept. I don't know why we don't get in on that.
I
Like,
don't understand.
Yeah, I
you
don't get
even
it
have,
either.
that doesn't even have to be your primary viewing, but like maybe switch in between someone's hurt, like you get a really close picture of them.
Yeah,
Seems like a
and you think
something you
GoPro
can at
wouldn't be
least
in for a
interest in.
sponsorship, bro?
gosh.
GoPro would cash the fuck in. That
All right.
would be sick.
You want to get into this first fight?
Yeah, the first fight was Kazuhiro Nakamura versus Igor Vovchanchyn. Nakamura lost to who was it before Vovchanchyn? I can't remember because this
I
is
think it was
this-
it was Vanderlei
yeah, it was
because
Vandy.
he took his jacket off.
Yeah, and then he got
KO'd.
he got
It was
starched.
hilarious.
Yeah, yeah. 'Cause I love the option to have a gi on too.
Oh yeah, I love
I think
it.
it's-
Love it.
It
It's
doesn't
so
really
fun.
it doesn't really provide anybody a lot of benefits unless you're like good with like
Yes.
like Hidehiko Yoshida fights later on that card
Mhm.
and he was like famous judoka and he was like really good with I can't remember what gi choke it was. I think it might have been Ezekiel choke, but he would just like mog it on people.
Yeah.
So like unless you're doing that, it doesn't really provide you with
we
anything
choked
but
out
like
a tank with a
yeah,
single
he
choke,
did a
so-
single wing choke where you fucking grab your sleeve and just pull it.
For this first fight, really good, entertaining grappling.
Yeah.
Like it was almost like mind blowing. I was like, holy shit, because like, you know, a lot of times when you have grappling fights like this where they really only because also going into this fight, both their interviews they were talking about like standing with each other and banging,
Right.
and Nakamura was talking about like training with Mark Hunt and stuff and how he's
Yeah.
like ready.
And Igor was like, because he fought at heavyweight and he was like one of the, like before MMA was really big.
Igor was a fucking.
He was like the best heavyweight in the world for a while.
Yeah,
and
Igor
he
was
loved tournaments.
legit.
Fucking, he broke his hands so many times the way, because he would punch like fucking like with the loopy punches.
But yeah, my biggest takeaway from this fight, it was like one of the most fun grappling. Like they were active. They were like whoever was like attacking was always going for something. They were going first. Like Nakamura went for so many subs and like it was entertaining. It was good. I was
Yeah.
just like, where's this fucking been in like the UFC?
Yeah,
Where
well, I
like
think
guys are so content with like lay and pray and just like sort of smashing from guard or half, and it's like these guys were just they were going for it and it was
Yeah.
entertaining.
Well, they did have yellow cards if you had inactivity on the
Yes,
ground.
I thought that was great too.
Takes like 10% of your purse or something
Yeah.
when they give it to you. So, you know, but we'll get to it later, but it's like, I don't know. I think it also probably helps that like grappling training wasn't as uniform. Like people didn't know as much about it, so
But
they would train like different types, and then when you clash, it's not as like, oh, one guy's got control here. You know what he's trying to do. Like it was just
it
one
was still
random.
good high level grappling. Like it looked the part. It fucking
Yeah.
everything that was happening. Wojciech was getting out of everything. The scrambles were great. It was a fun fight.
And Guy Shorts from Nakamura, so you know, fair play, I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever. The next fight was Ricardo Arona versus Vanderlei
Yeah, a couple
Silva.
natty boys.
Yeah, a couple of. This is like the Backney Grand Prix. they're like if you look at Shogun, so much Backney on his ass.
Dude, the absolute lunacy of the fucking tournament in one night, or at least the end of the tournament in one night, where like these guys are having two fights, is just
It's awesome.
great. It's awesome, but it's
You can't do it anymore. but-
absolutely insane.
And,
'Cause
like, yeah.
so much has to go right for you to win that. Like so much has to go right.
Yeah, it's really random.
But
And,
but it's entertaining.
Yeah, and like I get why you can't do it anymore,
Mhm.
but it's fun.
Yeah, Arona by decision.
Yeah.
Was like, you know, it was okay. Arona was like as stiff as a board when he was fucking standing in front of
Yeah,
Vanderlei.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
kind of funny.
Vandy, light skinned god looking ass, bro. he used to be handsome.
Also the stare down in that fight was tremendous.
Yeah, because the whole Brazilian top team.
Yeah, they
shoot-a-box
had beef.
thing, They had hella beef,
That's
and
the
then
one Joe always talks
No,
about.
it's not.
Shoot a
Joe,
box.
no,
That's
Joe,
the
Joe,
Crow.
no, Joe always talks about Crow Cup Vanderlei, not that one,
Yeah.
dumbass.
oh, the stare down. He
Yes.
talks about shoot a box a lot though. I thought he was talking about that.
No, he's talking about the stare down, the famous
Yeah.
Crow Cop Vanderlei one.
Yeah, that one is goated.
Yeah,
it's
it's
probably
the best.
one.
It's the best
Well
one.
done. Vandy got a yellow card for stalling on the bottom because that's basically what he did in Pride.
Mhm.
If he got like taken down, he would just hold full guard until they stood him up. And
Yeah, I really appreciate the yellow cards. It was fun. I
Yeah.
also liked how if they got near the ring or something, they would transition them back and start from like half guard or full guard or mount. Or
Well, they would start from like the position they were in, but they had to do it because ropes.
yeah,
So-
it was fun. I like that idea.
Yeah. It's just real clunky, and they have to stop the clock a lot.
That is
which
true.
is-
Also, no like score bug type thing is ass.
Oh yeah, with the
Like there's no time, there's,
There's no
no
time
names,
on
there's
the-
not. And it's like oh
and that
shit.
might. I don't know if that was like their original broadcast or the way that Fight Pass.
That's
has
another
it.
thing. It could be
I'm
different.
not sure. And also, the Fight Pass video was not sized correctly. Was that a thing for you?
I think so. It looked a little
Where
funky.
like the bottom, the text on the bottom when like Morrow and Boss's name came up, was like cut off halfway.
yeah,
Real weird. I don't really know what the deal with that was,
some
but-
lost in translation type stuff.
but yeah. You know,
Anyways,
Um,
next Shogun defeat fucking Overeem. That was,
this was a good fight, too.
dude. I mean, stacked. Talk about names like Shogun, Overeem, Verdun.
And this is young Overeem, dude. The way that Overeem put on
I mean, it
weight
was
is
young
fucking
Shogun.
insane.
Yeah, Shogun was like 23 in this.
Yeah. Well, the like the pre-fight package, Overeem was talking about how he's not going to
Yeah.
let this young dude
Yes,
get one
yeah,
over on
yeah,
him.
yeah,
I mean,
and then he
Overeem's
did.
like 25. So it's just funny. And it's funny seeing Overeem and like knowing what happens
Mm-hmm.
and being like, this young dude, like you're going to be dealing with young dudes for a while.
Yeah,
Shout out the Catholic Church.
for real. It's so cool seeing like all these like guys that we know of. Like, man, like they've really been through it. Like
Yeah.
they've like been a part of some cool shit.
Yeah, and
What makes you
Verdum.
really wonder like how much damage Alistair's like?
Well, I mean,
taken
Well, he's
Alex-
been
over
getting
the
knocked
time,
out for a
like-
long time.
I know, but it's just crazy. Think about he's gotten knocked out
Yeah.
so many times.
And like recently.
And he was so like thin and small in this
Yeah,
fight. It's
yeah.
crazy. It's crazy.
I mean, he was still muscular, but he wasn't.
He was like jacked, but he wasn't like he was just like a thin dude.
Mm-hmm.
But then like you look at him,
pre-horse meat.
dude, the amount of like he was fully training, and even if he's on steroids, the amount of like muscle mass he picked up in that amount of time, because he had to put on like
I mean, he put on,
at least like
30,
45
40
pounds of
yeah,
fucking
the amount you have to
pure
eat.
muscle.
I mean,
while
steroids do make it easier, especially
Yeah.
the ones they were doing.
I mean,
Yeah,
recovery
true.
wise, yeah. I mean, you can just keep,
That's the
doing
whole
it,
point.
yeah.
But like doing
I
that,
get it, but like, there's people out there.
That's
who just be
also like
Doing
my
that-
whole argument. Like 80% of the UFC is on steroids
Yeah.
because of recovery.
it's just really impressive that he did it while also training MMA, because like you can't like full-time training MMA and also like
If you have
bulking.
the right sauce, I mean, it can work for sure.
Yeah, it was
Because
just a lot
that's the
pretty
whole
fast,
point,
yeah.
is that you're able to therefore do all this extra shit because you can recover so much better.
Dude, that eating must have fucking sucked for him. Because
I
how many
mean,
calories he was? Because
yeah,
you burn hella like
Oh, yeah.
hard MMA training.
Yeah.
Crazy amounts. And then he was like, gotta go fucking hit my delts later too.
I mean, he was fucking jacked. I mean,
Yeah, he was insane.
was.
Fucking
He was huge.
Uberim, bro.
I mean, him versus Lesnar is just like, oh
The
my
meatiest
gosh,
match
like,
ever, dude. That was slapping meat personified.
It really was.
That's slapping meat in an MMA context.
It really fucking is.
Yeah, Brock is like the textbook meat man, where he's just big and fucking. There's just a lot of stuff on him.
On to the next one. Fucking young ass Verdum out over here, like
Yeah, just doing the damn
arm.
thing.
I mean, fucking armbar versus. I've never ever heard of the guy he fought, Roman Zenstov.
Yeah, he's some fucking Russian guy. I
Yeah,
don't know.
never
But
heard of him.
Yeah, it was Verdum, fucking Crow Cop's BJJ coach.
Yeah.
Wild.
I mean, fucking going for the triangle, and he's like, I'm gonna armbar. And
Yeah,
then just
yeah,
fucking nasty.
Yeah, it was nasty. It was really good.
Yoshida versus Tank Abbott.
Dude, fucking. It's like, bro, what a
I think this is the throw-in Carney match.
Yeah.
that your Pride likes to do.
Yeah, well, they love doing like keeping their relevant fighters, just churning them out for fights against cans.
Mm-hmm.
Like they'd have hella non-title fights just to have their champions fight on cards.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And they just they'd be like, here's this fucking, he's a pro wrestler. Take his head out. Dude, Crow Cop versus.
Alberto Del Rio in a luchador match.
That's fucking so crazy
So
that
funny.
they let that. He went out there in a lucha,
In a lucha mask. In a lucha
to
mask.
fight one of the deadliest kickboxers ever.
And it's
Like, oh, I want less peripheral vision. Yeah. I want to see less things coming. And he got exactly what he deserved. And, it's Del Rio, so he's kind of shady guy. It's
Yeah,
just funny
so-
that he fought Crow Cop
it's hilarious.
and Brendan Schaub. Rip.
Oh, let's not get into that.
Crow
But
Cop's got a weird career, man.
Tank Abbott, a fucking pioneer in terms of like OG.
I mean,
like
famous,
like just
world-renowned
pit-
street fighter.
pit fighter. I mean, it's crazy. He's in there with wrestling shoes and gym shorts.
Yeah.
Yoshida's got a gi
And
on.
the shittiest, dumpiest gym shorts. It was like the
yeah.
cotton ones that you're like a fat dad will wear to fucking like Food Lion or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, just as dumpy looking as possible.
he looked like my uncle if he bulked more, because he's got that like uncle gut. Tank
Yeah,
Abbott does.
and he's got like Artem arms too.
Yeah, and uncle total uncle face on Tank Abbott.
Yeah, the goatee.
The
I
goatee
mean,
and the fucking just the way he looks is like, oh, that's my fucking Uncle Randy.
yeah.
He's gonna drink a 12-pack of Coors and say something off color.
Yeah. So now we could get into the one we've all kind of been waiting for. Fedor versus Crow Cop.
Fedor and Crow Cop.
I mean, it does. I don't think it gets any better heavyweight wise. Like really, this was fucking tremendous.
Super
like
high
Fedor's hand speed and his like athleticism is just off the charts.
Yeah, those guys are so fucking
off
good.
the fucking charts. It's insane, and he's like an undersized heavyweight with bricks for hands.
It's fucking
Yeah,
crazy.
like
And-
he hits. Yeah.
And I mean, and then there's Crow Cop, who's just got, I mean, fucking left leg cemetery. It's the
you
whole
know
thing.
Crow Cop.
And Fedor, the savage he is, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna stand with Crow Cop and bang with him.
He was doing the good old like full check of the body kick where you pick up your rear leg and fucking block your elbows into it too. Those are I mean, good for that's obviously it worked.
Yeah, watching this fight made me disappointed in like current like UFC heavyweights. It really
Yeah.
did, because it was just like the athleticism and the skill. It just felt so much better
Yeah.
than what we have today.
Yeah.
And to be fair, it is like two of like some of the greatest to
Yeah.
ever do it. So
They're
I,
so
so I
fast
get it.
when you get in there and like
And
look at them.
Just Fedor with his trips and his throat, like he's just Fedor's the man. I love Fedor.
I hated how they were stopping the fight for blood.
Yeah, that was
Super
weird. He got
annoying.
cut up and they were like they stopped. I was like, what?
It's like,
what?
no, you need to be doing that for Alex, bro. He's got Hep C.
For real.
You
Fucking
know,
for real.
Fedor's not the Emelianenko you need to worry about cuts with, dude.
You know what's crazy? Like Fedor always said that Alex was like more talented than him too.
And you,
It was, like,
I mean,
wild.
like you could.
Oh, yeah, you
see-
could see
his
it.
hands are so fucking crazy. It's ridiculous. But he just had to like be one of the worst person
people ever.
Like,
Um,
yeah, what a piece of shit. But
yeah.
yeah, Fedor's ground and pound, fucking absurd. The way he punches like he doesn't care if he
Yeah.
breaks his hands.
Yeah, because
Or
he
not.
doesn't.
Yeah, he just he swings so hard and does like so much.
The amount of power and speed that comes from such a like almost unassuming looking guy is just incredible.
And nobody fucking does that.
No. Like the way like he's like in his like shovel hook. It's just like everything about. I love his game so much.
Yeah.
Like his throw.
And then like the last couple of rounds, he's really putting it on because Crow Cop.
Yeah, Crow Cop was tiring out a little bit
Because
and
he was on the bottom, getting absolutely smashed for 10
Smashed.
minutes. the better part of 10 minutes.
It's hard
Those-
to keep your cardio up when you're getting fucking dogged.
Especially with those pride rounds, with the 10-minute first
Is
round.
it 10-5-5?
It was for the title fight.
Okay.
Usually it's just a 10 and a 5, but like a 10-minute first round is fucking brutal. If you're getting
Brutal, but I love it.
Yeah, no, it could definitely result in some really boring dog shit fights, but in fights where people are good and conditioned well.
Yeah, and
Good.
that's like another thing about this. Even when they got to the ground, it was constant action.
Yeah,
like
they
not
were-
once were they ever like letting up.
Well,
at all.
Fedor just like puts it on to where like you can't.
Yeah, his top game is just it's fucking.
I mean,
insane.
yeah, if you stall on the ground, you're gonna get knocked out.
Yeah.
Against Fedor.
Oh,
Just
God,
how
I
it
wish
is.
Fedor was just transported like to here now.
It would be so interesting to see somebody like him
well,
fight.
younger, yeah.
Because
Younger
like
Fedor.
this, I don't know if this is even hot. Like this is like you throw him against France. I know Francis is way fucking bigger than him. Way bigger.
That would be interesting.
You throw
I
him in there
think,
with
now.
Francis.
Right now?
Fedor's taking Francis down.
Right now.
Right now.
Prime Fedor,
Francis.
not
Okay.
not
That's a different conversation,
not
though.
Fedor of today.
No, Fedor.
Clearly
you,
not.
You take Fedor from 05, drop him in today's game now. He's
Dude, if you
champ.
take Fedor from today and drop him against Ngannou, you're going to jail.
Oh yeah.
That's some fucked up shit.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know. That'd be interesting because
Interesting.
we've seen so little from Francis in terms of like having to face people with the same sort of skill set. Because he had Stipe and he sprawled on Stipe for fucking.
Yeah.
But he really he showed like that he's getting better, but he didn't. You can't really tell from
And
one
Francis
sprawl
is
how good.
Francis is so difficult because he's just got that touch of death thing.
Yeah.
And it throws his whole game off. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause
Yeah.
it's just
You kinda
he's
can't
playing
really
with a
tell.
different set of rules.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because he can lose like he can get schooled for a lot and then just fucking bang someone out. The power doesn't really carry. I mean, we don't really even know actually if the power, because the last
what I'm
time he
saying.
really had to like test himself besides Gone, which he didn't land any punches really.
Not really.
It was the first Fedor fight or
The
first
Stipe
fight,
and then that's it.
and that was a long time ago, and we're like, oh, Francis is way better now. Like, he's clearly better than he was.
Well, he did all the fucking side quests. He
Yeah.
beat literally like everyone.
Everybody, but
Because
he did it.
DC and Stipe were having their trilogy,
Yeah.
so that was running up heavyweight for like 3 years. Meanwhile, Francis is in the fucking bush, dude, just
Yeah.
knocking out everyone.
Just
Kane, JDS, Blades, Rosenstrike. I mean,
And he did it all in like a minute, so you couldn't really tell if he was getting better or not. He
Yeah.
was clearly, like, when you see it.
the second Stipe fight was the best example.
Yeah,
It's like,
it
all
was
right,
like, oh, okay,
this
he
is
is
a different
getting better.
fighter.
But nobody knew coming into that if he was actually like ready for it.
yeah. But I'm just saying, like, you throw Fedor in there, I
It'd
think
be very
it'd be
interesting.
very interesting. Even though he'd make Fedor look so small, it'd be hilarious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he would. He would.
But it doesn't. I mean,
Yeah, he
Fedor
would
is a
make him
fucking
look real
savage of
small.
savages.
I think Fedor probably.
Stand in there and bang with him because he's just like that.
Yeah. Hopefully not.
Yeah,
But-
that would not.
Hopefully
be what I
not, but he
bank
did
on.
it with Crow Cop, who, in terms of like shutting your lights out, has one of the best
Yeah.
weapon, like in terms of MMA, like
Crow Cop
history.
didn't have like having hands like that is way more dangerous than having kicks like that.
Yeah, but to be
'Cause
fair, it's Crow Cop, and the whole thing is left.
Right. Yeah.
The high kick.
And
He caught Fedor a few times with it. And,
Yeah.
dude, that left kick is so fast, like
It's
so
crazy.
fast, and he's got such big fucking legs. It's insane.
Oh man, it was, and those fucking the shorts, the whole thing.
It's
just dope.
top notch.
It was just.
It doesn't get better.
Where are the guys like this? Come on.
Right?
But
Fedor's a heavyweight goat for sure.
yeah,
IMO.
until Francis does more.
I agree.
But even then, Francis.
But even
is
then, it's
kinda
just like,
old.
what's left for Francis?
Well,
he's gonna
also
fight
Francis
Blades
is
again?
getting kind of
No.
old too.
I know Francis is like 30, 38.
He's gonna fight John Jones. He has to.
Good.
If he's gonna do like
If he
heavyweight goat
beats
shit.
Jones,
Jo-
and he beats Aspinall, Aspinall gets another win.
I'm sorry, Jones
Maybe
has
one more.
absolutely nothing for Francis.
I don't
nothing.
think-
Pillow fisted John. I mean,
Well, if you see like him working pads when he's bulked up like this, real slow. Like he's way slower than he was.
He's not taking down Francis.
No.
I don't care how big he gets.
don't
He's
think
not
so.
taking down Francis.
Watch us eat our words though. I don't.
Watch
see
us eat our
him-
words, but
don't-
I mean,
don't
think
see
about
him taking
his
him down,
last
especially
few
holding
fights.
him down.
Think about his last few fights at light heavyweight.
If he
dude.
comes in
Yeah.
like that,
I mean,
then
it's
yeah.
not even like he didn't take down Santos. He didn't take down Reyes.
Well, he did in the 4th and 5th round against Reyes, but he didn't look good.
Yeah.
If he comes in looking like the last time we saw him, no, he's getting
I mean, if
obliterated.
Francis kicks his leg once, I mean, it's fucking over. I just don't. Yeah, I don't know.
I think
just
it'd
don't.
Be,
I
I
don't.
think it'd be a little more interesting than like.
I just don't see. I can't see it. I don't see what John would bring for Francis that would.
Maybe if he
give
just
him
went for a
any-
lot of high kicks. And I don't. Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I don't really see
It's like that. Like,
what he's gonna do.
John's not knocking dudes out. Like, he's just not. He never really has.
Yeah, I mean,
You tell me 2014, 2013 John transporting that guy and making him
Well,
go
then,
up to
yeah,
heavyweight.
yeah.
Different conversation.
but yeah, I guess John of recently is just not. Well, not even recently because he hasn't fought in fucking.
3 years.
Yeah.
2.5
And
years.
and that's the thing. Even his wins have like aged horribly.
Yeah,
Like Reyes and Santos have since that fight have not looked good. And it's like shit.
yeah.
dude.
Santos in particular has been fucking awful since then.
Yeah. And then Glover's champ. I mean,
It's a whole thing.
yeah,
yeah.
It really fucking.
Crow
is.
Cop definitely looked like a light heavyweight though. Like
He
when
did,
he was
but
in there, I was
bigger
like,
than
oh,
Fedor.
was he? Was he
Yeah.
heavier?
I don't know their exact weight, but he size difference. He's way bigger than fucking Fedor.
I thought he looked
bigger.
smaller. Than
I thought he
Fedor.
looked bigger. He was definitely more jacked. For
I don't know.
sure.
Maybe I'm fucking. Well, yeah. Well, Fedor has that. Just like
just that dad bod.
he doesn't have like a jacked crazy bod, but
He's like a barrel, kind of
He-
like DC-ish,
yeah,
like
kinda.
light heavyweight DC,
but like just stretched upward a little
Yeah.
bit.
and just like lightning quick hands. It's
Super
it's,
fast.
it's
It's
unbelievable
crazy.
when you see it. You're like, I couldn't tell you a heavyweight right now that his hands like quick hands like that.
Aspinall has like super fast hands, but he doesn't do it like
Yeah, he
Fedor
doesn't have the
does it.
power
I mean,
to-
he's got like power like that, but he just doesn't. It's not the same type of because Fedor would throw in like flurries, and Aspinall is more like
Dude,
a,
he would throw these flurries or like come out of like a fucking like a kick or something, and just like barely missed Crow Cop with like the biggest heat-seeking missile I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, and he had those real like he threw a lot of the like winging loopy kind of punches, but he was so fast.
Or
that
like he'd
it
come out of a
worked.
throw, like he wouldn't get the throw in, and like he'd come in with like a left, and just like it was just like beautiful. I loved every bit of it.
Yeah. Fedor's sick. This event was sick.
Yeah, I mean we still have one fight left, the fucking final round of the Grand Prix.
Yeah, we got Shogun versus
Shogun
Ricardo
stomping
Arona.
out Arona.
Dude. It was so
Also, another note I had, north-south, possibly the most deadly fucking position in
that
like,
in
Pride.
the front headlock.
Like so terrifying.
Imagine how crazy good Tony Ferguson would have been if you had knees in the front headlock, because he's already nuts.
I don't
him
mind.
and
I don't mind
Oliveira.
grounded knees in MMA.
Me neither.
Soccer kicks, no, it's too much.
Soccer kicks.
Grounded knees are very fun and change the game a lot because it turns the position, like I said, north-south to like almost insta-death, where it's like
Yeah.
the second they would get north-south, you were like, oh shit, like
You're
knee,
yeah,
like
we gotta-
knees.
Yeah. Well, it's just like you got to move.
Yeah,
And
like
the-
it makes like you gotta work.
I
Like,
don't like it because seeing DJ lose like that. When I saw him land the knee, I was like, "Oh, I'm glad those aren't in the UFC." That was my like immediate.
It's kind of
reaction.
why?
different.
Because it was too.
I just think that maybe I'm just so used to the rules now. I don't love knees on a grounded opponent. I just think they're.
But it's just like, what's the difference between someone throwing their entire leg and hitting you in the head with like that entire weight? Like,
It's not
inherently more dangerous than anything else they do.
It's not like strikes to the back of the head where it's like
Yeah,
clearly
exactly.
like you can't do that or somebody's gonna like fucking die, you know. Like it's not the, and it, you know, if you don't like the knees to the grounded opponent, they could just defend them. You know, like
Yeah.
you could just be more careful when you get up. And the Moraes, the guy who did that to DJ,
Sounds like we got some Peter Yan fans.
he does no, that was, you can't defend that.
It was just so stupid.
Because he like
every time I see the replay, I'm like, holy shit, Piotr Jan is a dumb fucking guy.
Because they were like, don't knee, and he was like,
knee.
okay, and fucking just boomed him. It was so stupid.
all right, we're at like 52 minutes right now, and I got like 10 minutes left on this battery, so
Oh, shit.
we'll wrap
Yeah,
this up
okay.
soon.
But yeah, I think knees to a grounded opponent.
I
could be-
think it makes MMA way more interesting,
yeah.
and ground fighting
Me too.
immensely more interesting.
Well, it just adds a lot. And Shogun was doing this really cool thing against Overeem, where he had him in side control, and then he'd turn like he was going to scarf, right? Like he'd get under the head, and then he'd like throw a cross with his knee over the arm to get the crucifix, but he'd throw like the, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
like
no, I get what you're trying
he'd
to
arc
say.
the knee over his arm to like knee him in the head, but also to get the crucifix.
Yeah.
And one thing, like I saw him he did it a couple times, and then he got crucifix and like started working for a Kimura, and I was like, why isn't he elbowing the fuck out of him? And then I was like, oh, elbows are not legal on the ground, which is such a weird.
Isn't that crazy?
It's a weird line
Such
to draw.
a weird line to draw.
Because you let
Like,
him,
I literally-
you let him knee him in the.
We
fucking
just saw
head.
him try and stomp his face in,
Yeah.
but the elbow was a little too much.
Then he couldn't elbow. Yeah, that's a weird thing that they didn't have. But
Yeah. So, yeah. Anyways, any closing remarks from you guys?
great event, super
Great
good event. Go ahead and watch it.
Yeah.
And this is what we'll kind of do for off weeks is we'll.
Yeah. There's not a
recap.
lot.
No, there.
We got
I
another
mean,
week to let the Hamza Gilbert marinate.
Yeah,
so,
get ready for that.
I don't even want to pick that one, dude. I just want to root. I want to root for fucking Kamzat and not.
Well, yeah, I'm
not
just
have
gonna
to think
pick
about-
Hamza.
Yeah.
Like, what type
but-
of finish?
Yeah, and not have to think about like, oh, but what if what if Burns is like, what if he's just not like that, and like have to. I just want to be in on the hype train,
Me too. I fully agree with that.
but I could like, I don't know.
I'm 100% gonna vote on the hype train. Just
Well, yeah, I
just
know, I know.
I
It's-
want Hamzat to come from Marty so bad.
I-
I'm so over the fucking top welterweight guys.
Yeah.
Let Hamzat run it up.
Yeah,
So over it.
I don't want to.
Leon Usman. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, Leon, Colby, Usman. I'm just ready for Hamza
Jorge.
to lighten that up.
It's just like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of just want the Leon fight to happen and fucking reset the division. Like, just Just give it to Khamzat and hope he fucking wins, and then we'll have something else going on for
I
finally.
mean, shit, Hamza might then just get a middleweight.
If he beats Usman, he's fighting Izzy after, 100%. 100%.
I don't know.
If
It'd be
it
interesting.
depends what happens in the Pereira fight, because if Pereira beats Strickland, he's fighting Izzy next, which is also
that
crazy
did
to
happen.
think about.
That's something we didn't talk about. Yeah, Strickland and Pereira. God, I hope fucking Pereira.
I hope so, but I
Yeah, I
have
hope
a
he
feel. I have a
knocks
feel.
He's probably
I
gonna
have
get
a feeling.
wrestle
I know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be.
It's
fucking
low. It's
derailing.
not even. It's high key. Way too early for him to be fighting someone like Strickland.
But he's also like old, so the time it's now or never, pretty much. So
What do you just think's gonna happen?
He's gonna get wrestle fucked.
most likely. But you know,
That's what I
maybe
thought
he
you were gonna
fucking
say, but-
he just puts Strickland out, and that would be
Hopefully.
because he's getting a title shot off of that shit.
Yes. Yes.
They're not
100%.
even gonna be like, hey, maybe you should fight somebody who's actually like really good instead of just Sean Strickland. They're not even gonna try that. They're gonna be like, yo, Sean Strickland was a perennial title contender the whole time. He was so good, and
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah. So now Pereira is too.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun. It's fun. It's a fun to think about if everything goes right.
Izzy
Yeah.
was like, I got plans for Strickland. It'd be funny if he just comes out and he was like, yeah, I wanted Alex Pereira to fight him.
He's got plans for Yeah, to beat his fucking
Strickland's
ass.
such a fucking goof.
Yeah, I don't like him. I don't think anybody really does.
Nah, his thing's way too played out.
He's pretty-
He's a fucking. He's like a murderer and
psycho.
sparring psychopath, and he has these snooze fest fights. And it's
Yeah.
like
And then
You're
he'll
a
come
fuck-
out and
you're
be
a
like,
fucking-
I'm disappointed how I fought.
you're a goober, dude.
It'd be one thing if you fought like fucking like Fedor did.
Yeah.
If Fedor was like, I want to kill somebody in the ring, you'd be like,
Yeah.
holy fucking shit. Fedor didn't really ever talk like
That's
that.
that's the whole thing with just stone cold the entire
Yeah.
the whole fight, everything, just like emotionless. Just
But if he did the same thing but with like maniac energy, it'd be the scariest shit ever.
Terrifying.
But it was also scary that he didn't have any emotion too. So
Yeah.
you know, it's both sides. Jesus Christ, with that
Shout out
shit.
to Paulo.
Shout out to the
All
dog.
right. You guys know where to find us. Pressure Points Podcast, Instagram. Hit
Yeah.
the link tree for everything else.
And if you're in Vernal, Utah, May 27th,
May
to
27th
29th,
through the 29th.
there's
for
a
now,
really
Utah.
cool UFO disclosure exposition or symposium.
know.
Sorry. Anyway, you find Conspiracy Class Podcast and click the link in our bio, and you can get $20 off a ticket if you're fucking insane. And you want to do that? Go ahead.
Yeah, please do that.
if you
Give us
listen
some
to
money.
the whole thing that we just did, and then you were like, "Oh, I also would like to go to this UFO."
Yeah, that's some crazy crossover.
Yeah, I would be very surprised
Very surprised.
if anybody even was interested at all in that.
But yeah,
Anyway,
anyways,
whatever.
we love you guys.